Good morning, all, and happy Thursday. May the 4th be with you and George's birthday.
Well, happy birthday to George.
Yep, he's in the cluster with you and Bill.
He's born after us.
I know, but he's still in the cluster of you and Bill and everybody's birthday.
Oh, I just had a conversation about this with one of my relatives. I was like, I know way too many people born around this time of the year. It must be a very popular time to have kids. I swear.
What was 9 months ago? What was 9
Well, I
months
know
ago?
9 months ago on my birthday was my father's birthday, so I know on how I was conceived.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Summer love. You're a summer love
summer
kid.
loving is a
You
thing,
are.
I guess.
Yep, because it would have been August.
Yep.
May the 4th be with you, Sarge. Always. All right. I am still plugging away at this guy.
And I am doing the challenge that I had talked about.
that you challenged us to, and
And KM seems to have done it.
then Can kicked everybody's butt as we expected.
Well, he said it didn't look pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but still did it. I mean, I got 2 pages in. Paperwork. I hear that.
So Bill is currently exiting to go back to work finally.
So last night after stream, I suddenly had this song stuck in my head, and I was trying to figure out where it came from. I looked it up on the interwebs, and it took a while because I actually had the words wrong. It had been so long since I had actually heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that it was a song by Engelbert Humperdinck. And I was like, well, so
I just like saying Engelbert Humperdinck's name.
yep. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it was totally a Name That Earworm. So, in the 70s, there were a number of songs that I heard, mom would have the radio on, or dad would have the radio on, or somebody would have you know what I mean? And I don't know who was, I don't know what the story was, but there were a lot of them that were like that. And I've been trying to save them to my Spotify whenever I find them. And I was like, man, this is all crooner music, like that, the has the
Mm-hmm.
10-piece orchestra behind him, and then he's just crooning, and it's like, wow. But as soon as I heard it, like memories of 1975 started coming back into my head.
That's what happens when you reminisce.
Yeah. I need to get this lined up. Deployment stairs, because we need those. You need to be able to get out of the spaceship.
It's overrated.
It's overrated. Totally overrated. Uh-huh.
Hi, Maya.
Hi.
Oh, by the way, we made characters and had a good first night at the D&D group.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, at this time, I am already deep in spring.
Yep. And I'm already at work.
You gotta be on your own recognizance.
You have to recognize your own ons.
Huh?
You were saying
What?
that he has to be on his own recognizance.
This is the right fight.
And he's 1 year older today.
You are 1 year older today. You are a 3-year-old fight.
You're a 3-year-old fuzzbutt that gets in sinks when you're trying to brush your teeth.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's 3.
Yep, he's 3.
I mean, if he was a human toddler, he'd still try to get into sinks while trying to brush his teeth.
Also true. You're not wrong. Because you don't have any pants? Okay.
It's 9:10 already.
There we go. And it folds up to be a little like armrest when it's inside the vehicle. Now I just need to make the hinging system work like it's supposed to. Should make the hinges out of stone, then they'd be Stonehenge. I can hear Can saying that was awful and I should feel bad. I should be. I'm not, but I should be.
Page 1 layout. On page 2 layout.
You want me to time you for this?
It's for the show. I have to get it done by the show.
Okay. That's why I was asking. Like, Can was doing the page 1 needs to be done. It's 9:15. Page 2 needs to be done. It's 9:30.
Okay, I don't operate like that. That gives me way too much mental stress.
Right? That was what was happening. Was kind of stressing me out a little. So I was like, I won't do that to you if you don't want it.
Yeah, that causes way too much mental stress. I am gonna do it in a different way. I've done challenges like this before, and every single time I've done them, I've done a clock one, but this one it's the show. That's the measurement of the time.
Okay.
So I just do my tasks that I normally do in these challenges, which is I lay out my pages first. I have my script, and then when all my page layouts done, I'll go back through and I'll start doing all the rough initial sketches.
Don't actually have to defend it. It's okay. Good chunk.
Hey. Sometimes you just have to do.
There we go. 2 steps. And they deploy nicely.
Hey, and if I only get like, let me see, how many pages are this? So this is 8 pages that I have typed up. If I only get everything sketched out, that's a win still for me because at least it's sketched out.
I love you too. Have a good day. Make sure the kid's been kicked. Hey, Mariah, make sure the kid's kicked out the door because I'm not watching him. And if he doesn't get out the door,
why do you want to kick George out so badly? Does he need at 3? Does he need to start making his own?
Make your own money, cat.
I mean,
You to pull your own weight.
I've heard of cats going to this service called OnlyPaws.
OnlyPaws. I have to admit, I might subscribe to OnlyPaws. That sounds awesome. Probably awesomer than it needs to be, but it sounds awesome. There we go. I think that puts it on the correct hinginess. No, still short. Why is this short? Why does it come? Shouldn't do that.
Oh. You don't recognize my face.
Oh, yeah. You're having cat issues as well. There we go.
No, my cat issues is there's a cat cafe in my area, and whether or not to get a new cat.
I was talking about Sarge, who's having cat issues, but yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to relate.
That works. That took a lot of fussing. I kind of envision the Marines just kicking this staircase out. Gunk. And now it's deployed. Right? And that works. And now we have a loading ramp. The next thing to figure out is we go out, and now that we've figured out how to delete materials, we do Blender, link objects. IP chain. Okay, make objects, link objects, bones. That's what I wanted.
So, I thought you would find this hysterical. So I made a bard for the D&D campaign last night.
Uh-huh.
She has a 17 charisma with a +3 increase.
That sounds good. That's good for a bard. She's got to convince people to do stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes against their will. So
her persuasion is a +5.
Yep. That's about right. That's good for a bard right there.
She also has a +5 she has a high ability to lie too.
Yes.
Sometimes I really hate mechanical pencils, and then other times I really like them.
There we go. That looks pretty cool, actually.
Do it again.
Nice. Wish I had had this. Right? Well, Marines do that. They just jump off. There's a certain amount of no clearance here, but I can't help it. But that's still, you can still get up onto that step. And maybe for VIPs, they'll put a little box there for you. We've also done the thing where all of it decided to get all puffy and round.
So VIPs. So, quick question. I wanted to ask you, what other armed forces, do you have in your comic, guy?
Really, pretty much what I've got is I've got the Unity Navy and the Unity Marines. Because everything else is pretty much under one of those.
Okay.
There is an armed forces like the Army, but it's a little bit different because it operates a little bit more like military police.
Okay.
But it's a different branch and is
They're
usually used for like security of a planet.
Okay.
So anytime you need like foot soldiers, it's the Marines. And if you need anything else, it's going to be the Navy.
Is there some type of sports ball thing that they do?
Yeah, there's a sports ball thing, but I haven't written out all the rules.
Gotcha.
But I figure it's probably something to the effect of bouncing some kind of ball, hitting some kind of zone where it has to bounce inside that zone, and then getting some kind of goal. Mostly because it seems like all of the various games that we have done over the years have involved some kind of goal that you have to get a ball into while bouncing it a specific way. You know what I mean? Like you either like ping pong or whatever, you have to hit the ball, but the ball must hit inside the zone on the table. And same with tennis. It must hit inside this zone, So the skill is trying to, get it to hit exactly in that zone. But then like soccer and all of those, you have to get it into a goal, So maybe what we would have is some kind of thing where you have a safe zone or a legal zone, and then outside that, all around would be like goals, and the whole thing is to try to bounce the ball through the safe zone in the center and bounce it into a goal. Oh, that'd be good. Okay, I'm going to write this down before I forget it. But that's actually really
What
cool.
if you combined basketball and highlight?
And what?
Highlight. Do you know what highlight is?
Maybe, but not by that name.
It may have had a different name. I just know that it was called highlight in Florida when I was a kid.
That's fine.
Basically, it's like these woven gloves. You slip them in, and you catch balls, but like the glove basically is like curved like this.
Oh, yeah. So, like lacrosse.
Yeah, but it's with your bare hand instead of a pole.
Oh, yeah.
And the ball is bouncy. And you basically play it against an actual like wall, like racquetball.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. No, I think if you combine that with basketball, where they have to have it like in a basket, I think it would be fun. So. No, that's the same one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, Jai-Li? Yeah. That's what I was thinking was the
not
Aztecs had a
Jai-Li,
ball game.
Hi-Li.
Yep. Jai-Li. Yeah, I'm just going to drive you crazy now. You're like, why are we friends? Why do you do this to me?
I don't know why you're mispronouncing words, guys.
I'm just being weird. So, okay.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
All right.
A little weird.
But, that's up to you.
Talking about putting George on the street this morning.
I know, right? Kicking George out. Now that he's 3, it's time for him to make his own way.
Only pause, man.
You're not a kitten anymore. You're not a kitten anymore. Remember that.
Not a kitten. Well, once he turns 3, you're gonna start noticing like him becoming more mature as the year goes on. One thing I hated about my cats, they were all so loving and everything as kittens, and then they just became like socially distant as soon as they became like more adults.
Well, he is much more social now than he was as a kid. I mean, as a kitten.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, as in Dove. I'm sure Dove was probably the nicest kitten that has ever kittened, but she is the most cranky old woman you've ever met. So I'm kind of glad that George went the other way and is super socially together and with it.
Well, they say when you have multiple pets in a house, you always have the one that is like in everyone's business, in everyone's life, yada yada. And then you have the one that doesn't want to go near anyone.
Right.
And it's not just cats, like it's dogs too. It's any animal really. I'm laying out page 3.
Do what?
I'm laying out page 3.
Okay.
So. Woo! Like I said, if I can get things sketched out for the entire 8 pages during this whole thing, that's my win for the day. If I can't complete this, that's fine too.
Oh yeah, I totally did the same thing. I didn't want to stress out. It was a fun idea, and I liked your idea a lot, and it was cute and fun, and I didn't want to stress out. So.
I forgot to even I forgot like the character descriptions on these guys too.
Did I tell you how I got my stories?
You got yours. Bill said something about Chat GPT.
Yeah, I totally got my idea from your husband, and I went to Chat GPT and had it write me a story about a space cat, and it did. And it was actually pretty good. I was kind of impressed. We were all kind of impressed. We're like, hey, these aren't bad.
It's getting. I know the script making for comics scripts for Chat GPT are getting good. Do I think I want to use them? Probably not.
Yeah. There were some plot holes that were ridiculous and entertaining. So, for example, the story, because I told it to do 8 pages.
Yeah.
And then I told it, okay, now that you've done 8 pages, let's look at what these 8 pages are. And like page 1 was like Leela, I guess it's Leela, Lila. So first of all, I told it to write me a story about Space Cat. So then it promptly wrote a story about Space Cat and his owner Leela. And I was like, okay, well, I guess Space Cat's got an owner named Leela. And so then it became the story of Space Cat and Leela. But that was up to Chat GPT. It totally made that up on its own, which I thought was fascinating. Because like there was no prompting for a human from me at all. Anyway, so then it did this thing where it was like Space Cat Space Cat and Leela were sitting around looking at the stars because they were bored. And then all of a sudden, Leela gets an idea, jumps up, packs her bags, and Space Cat and Leela run to this laboratory where they're building a faster than light spaceship. And then,
okay.
And then the scientists at the laboratory give them the keys, and then they take off across having adventures across the galaxy. And I was like, oh, okay, so just gave them the keys. So yeah. I'm like, but I love using randomizers to spice up my stuff anyway. So this fit with me. I'm like, play the ball where it lies. Okay, here we go. So like the panel where they get to the library or to the laboratory, it's this building with all these signs saying top secret. This is not a building with an FTL spaceship. Go away. You know, building protected by armadillos. You know, like the most ridiculous possible thing. And it was just so much fun. And I was like, oh,
this is not Area 51. This is Area 53.
Right? It was just actually really, really fun. And so I was like, oh, I'm keeping this. I'm like, I don't know what Chat GPT was on, but I'm liking what it's smoking. So there you go. It was pretty funny. Oh man. Yep, attack armadillos.
They already messed this up.
Here, I'll show you the page because I'm showing it just large. I have to be careful because there's nudity apparently.
I saw that.
It was so funny. Right? Right? Warning, guard armadillos on duty. Nothing here. Absolutely no FTL spaceship. Top secret. No, really. Then over here it says, danger, radioactive milk on premises. Go away. Totally not a launch silo. This place is totally haunted. These are all the signs I put on there. And it's called the Super Secret Labs, Inc. I had way too much fun with it. As soon as it was like, they just went to this laboratory and got a spaceship, I was like, oh, I'm going with this one. I'm going with this one. I am totally rolling with this one. Oh, man. It was cool. I even went to Midjourney and had it do character designs for me. And I picked a couple of them just because, yeah, I told it retro space things. So I had it pick some retro space stuff for me. But yeah, my quality couldn't be that high. But Pepper, I stopped doing underdrawing. I was just trying to go so fast. I just didn't even bother with underdrawing. I went straight to ink and just inked the pages.
I mean, there is a 1 hour comic challenge that I've done before.
Sure. And that's pretty much what I came up with, was a page an hour.
I've done like similar art challenges where it's like in an hour do like a mini comic, right? Well, a mini comic in an hour is doable, but the mini comics are usually like 1 panel per page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not very long, and one of the pages that you do is the cover. So, I mean, I get it. Not everyone's gonna do it. Like, honestly, I have no expectations whether or not I get it done or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarge.
You know? I just have like a bunch of stuff that I know I need to kick my butt to complete. So I'm tired of having half-finished projects.
Oh, no. I love this. I really did enjoy it.
Oh.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. I giggled my way through it. I do think, though, it might be fun to do a page an hour. You know what I mean? Like 2 pages, and then just dedicate 2 days to doing an 8-page challenge. And
that
then it
would work.
That less stress, and we could then get an 8-pager done. You know what I mean? Like just because it'd be a morning and evening show. That's 4 hours. Then the next day's morning and evening show is 4 hours. So you'd end up with an 8-hour. And if you can't do both shows, that's fine. So like you would do 4 days, and so would Can, because Can does the night show and you do the day show typically.
Yeah.
So you do the day show 4 shows, and then he'd do the night show 4 shows, and then I just do it in 2 days because I would have both shows. So I think that would be fun.
Well, you can't do it on Wednesdays. That's
Right.
Watercolor Wednesday.
Watercolor
We're
Wednesdays.
bringing that back. You cannot do it on Wednesday.
We are definitely bringing that back. Oh, hey, look. Army names. The Guardians. The Sanguine Sentinels. Oh, I like that. The Order.
Are these for the sports ball?
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. They're the sports ball teams. The Isle Zamp. The Ublinba. The Flaming Baton. I like it. I don't know. It's just an army generator name. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get to a random name generator for the name of this game.
Hold on, I need my feet. Need to have me sit down for a second. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Instead of trying to kill myself, like you guys described,
like we did, yes.
Yeah. So let's set some let's set some up. Set this up for people to actually succeed in it. Okay. So it's you want to do. So what you were talking about is for 2 hours, 1 hour per page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you want it mildly looking good.
Yes.
Okay.
It could be like you have, where just the underdrawing is done in an hour.
Okay. So we're not talking like inking or anything like that.
Well, we could be. It depends on where you want to go. I think given an hour a page, Can would have a complete drawing. He is probably 1/3 faster than you and me. And so
I mean, that's an understatement, but I mean, you're not wrong.
Right. I mean, my thought is that he could probably, where we could underdraw in an hour, he'd have underdrawing and text and inks. So I think that would be a little bit different in that instance. But one of the things I really want to do, and I love doing this and I'm bad at it, is comics that don't have any dialogue. I am horribly bad at them, and I love them. You know, so I really like the idea of this. The Space Cat series is so cute because even though it's AI written, there's only like 3 lines of dialogue in the 12 stories I pulled from Chat GPT, and they are not necessary. You could have had them look at each other, and they, you know, it was the "you're a good cat, Space Cat," you know, could be replaced with her just looking at Space Cat and Space Cat looking back, you know. So, like, none of them were critical to the story. The peligros.
Since I have a Mac, I can't even use Midjourney.
Really?
I have to use it through whatchamacallit, Discord, and I'm not.
All of us do. Midjourney is only on Discord.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it through Discord too. It's a Discord place. Ghost Town descriptions. The beach is littered with bodies, shells, and destruction. Red, blue, and khaki are the new colors of what was once a peaceful beach, which has now become the stage of a full-blown invasion. The air, which would normally be fresh and smell of nature's wonders, is now heavy with the screams of the dying fighters and the scent of their blood. Hell has descended upon this area. That's a thing. This is my fantasynamegenerators.com. It's one of my absolute favorite sites. She does these amazing generators, and there's like a zillion of them. And I absolutely love every single one of them. They're so cool. But she's got a bajillion of them. And I have to keep finding, like, I have to figure out where all these things are. Voltron. Like Star Trek races. She's got just names for every Star Trek race. Oh, Bajoran. Velu Evu. Yeah. Ukald Utooth. Piewald Bulel. Oh, that definitely does sound like a Bajoran name.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Have fun.
Okay, see you later. Later, Sarge. Have a good day.
I will be right back because nature is now calling.
That's fine. I need to stop looking at Bajoran names.
Mm-hmm.
I need to come up with a game. I need a game. I just need, swear words. Toe mushroom, horse feathers. Frozen Satan on a flying pig. Eternal oblivion. Worthless worm food. Oh, this is funny. Monkey disco. Okay, these are good. Twisting nethers. Dirty socks. Cabbage head. Oh, gargoyle. Instrument names. Kaitok. I like that. I think I found my name. It flows well. Somehow I nuked my subtool. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did. I actually feel like you should be up here. Can you do? Or you're not going to do horizontal, are you? Oh. I'm just getting this cleaned up because I actually really like having this open and my layers tablet, my layers palette, and then the tools palette, tools control. I can open these and have it do different things, and that's useful. it. No. Can't move any of this stuff like my color. Probably move it right under here. Right, my color wheel. I don't ever use a color slider. Oh, I've got a color set. Oh, God. Color history is a mangled mess. I do like color sets. I don't really need this. Right, not something I use very often. But I like the idea of this, and then this being my color sets in the center here, and all's good, and that makes sense for me. I keep forgetting I can use this color set.
All right.
Probably take this and move it here. How you doing? How you doing?
Better now.
Good.
Less gassy.
Always a plus. Way always a plus. It's like
Messages from Bill.
messages from Bill. Hello, Bill.
I'll give you a little update on that script.
Oh, that's right. You're scripting.
So, things I learned. So, whenever we have a survey done of the sky, each of those surveys independently catalogs each star or thing or object they detect in the best way they can detect it. So, that being said, the Hippocrates, that one, because it was lower resolution, might detect something that could be two things as one thing, right? But it didn't have a higher resolution.
Right.
So that's why they don't cross-reference, because then in the Gaia one, they may say, no, those are two things right there. And that's one, that's the other. And so you can't match them up like that. So they independently catalog everything. So that's what the Sinbad database is really good at, is because astronomers and whatnot get together and they go, no, that one and that one, those are the same thing.
Right,
And
right.
so the Sinbad database has like, it's this in the Hippocrates, it's this in the Gaia, it's this one in blah, and they kind of match them up. So what I'm currently working on is a script where you will provide it either an HIP ID, an DR2 ID, or a DR3 ID. It'll then, if it's the Hippocrates, it'll look in the Sinbad and see if it's in there with a Gaia ID. If it's in there with a Gaia ID, it'll take the Gaia ID and look that one up. And then if it's not, what it'll do is it'll take the positions that are recorded and it will look in the Gaia database in the area and see if there's anything in that area, and then it'll print that whatever's in that area out by various amount of arc seconds. I think it just kind of carves a circle and says, "Is anything in there?"
Right. I saw Sinbad doing that, where it could do by arc seconds.
Yeah. So that's how it'll currently work, and then I'm still trying to get it to then give me Cartesian values, but right now I'm just trying to get it so I can get it to match up.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Things I'm learning.
Would you like a smaller field, or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I'm working with 1 gig.
Okay. You figured out how to access Sinbad's database direct.
Yeah.
Then, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have. I found out in Python there's libraries to access these databases directly, so you don't even need to download them. the package that is made for Python does that, and you just tell it, and then it'll go find it. Which is pretty
Oh, okay.
cool. What's cool about the Gaia database is there's a Gaia identifier, which is DR2 or DR3. But then there's a segmented ID that should be unique across both databases. So you can simply clip that off and just say, even if it was a DR2, you should be able to say, look that number up in the DR3, and you'll find it.
Okay. I mean, this is awesome because you will go past my zone of uncomfortableness by a lot. Because, I mean, part of the reason I keep coming back to my stupid star maps over and over and over is because of questions of whether I did it right.
Right.
And just the detail you've gone into on this means that I cannot, in my little voice in the back of my head, it's like, perhaps you did the math wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You should probably check. It'll shut up because I know you did the math right. Right? So it's like, I don't have to question that part. So I'm totally cool with this.
What I'll probably do is in both databases, things are given in I think radians, declination, and parallax.
Yep.
As well as proper motion, radian, and declination. And then I'll do the conversion to galactic in those, so I stay in the same measurement that is common, and then I'll convert that to the Cartesian at the end.
That's pretty actually straightforward. They even have the entire thing on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
If you type in galactic coordinates, the math is there. It tells you exactly how to convert. And I'm loath to correct you on this, but it's just in case don't look for radians. It's actually right ascension.
Right ascension. Sorry. Yeah, I know it was
fine. I just don't want you like radian times pi r, and then you're like, why did this not work?
It's
making sure
RA, so I assume radian, but
it's totally cool. It's totally cool as long as you know what it is. I'm okay. But I could just see you typing in radians and trying desperately to get the pi value out of it, and you're like, why isn't this working? And so, and it's because I've made stupid mistakes like that a lot.
What's cool is the ones that you can get proper motion on, if you can get it. With those, you can calculate based on the date where it would be at a given point in time.
Right. So
I just wanted to give you an update.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's cool. You know what? I really just want you to know how much I appreciate you doing this.
You're welcome.
I really, really do, because it's like, that's so cool, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so what it'll probably be is I'll hand you a Python script. You might need to install a Python package, which is just a quick command. I can give it to you to copy and paste. And then what you'll do is you'll create a file with all of the identifiers you want, and then you just in the same directory as the script, and then you just type the script name, and it should just spit out every one of the values you want in the Cartesian exponent.
Oh, okay. So
as you discover more stars you want to add, just add them to that file and rerun it.
That actually is perfect, because then I don't end up with a database of 7 billion stars. I just end up with a database of the 100 that I need right now. But who knows where I'll be, 6 issues down the road. Oh no, we're in this other zone of space and we need to get all the stars there.
Right.
All right. You should post it to GitHub.
Right.
Right. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it.
Right.
All right, so I have for the Quack Art Challenge rules. We have 2-hour windows. Can have a written script in advance. At least one show a day. Does not have to be done in one show. Never done on a watercolor Wednesday.
This is important.
Yes, and a minimum of 5 shows for the working on the challenge.
That's cool. I like that.
I figured that one will include Kane's crazy productivity. What do you think?
I like it. I also think the cool part about that is we could probably include other people in the challenge. So, like at night, Neon Black Bats could join us, and she could do, an 8-page or 2 and join us in on that one. And then, every so often we'll have somebody who is another comic artist, and they can post it to the Discord.
We have a Discord?
We have a Discord.
Why was I not told of this?
Because it's actually under GS Davis art.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you can add it then to the Quasar Art Collective website too. Thanks, Brent. So that would be.
Need to send. Is there anything else am I missing for the rules?
No. I think we should also do like 4-page challenge, 8-page challenges. You know what I mean? Like make them different sizes so we can practice.
So basically, you have the option of doing just 4 pages or 8 pages.
Well, I think that we should do those by challenge. So, if you, for example, I loves that. Hang on real quick. Let me put the.
All right. So this was for this one that I'm thinking of, or I'm making these rules for, is for the 8-page.
Yes. There's the Discord link. I just put it into the chat, and I will put it also here for you in the private chat because it's hard to select over here. You can't select any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So you can select in the private chat. That's the duck pond.
Let me go into. Is your channel public?
Should be. I don't know. Let's see. Permissions. It says private channel is turned off.
How do you spell your Discord channel?
I'm looking through all the things. Hang on. I need to close this because I need to talk to you. What? Okay, so I'll move me out of the way. Me over here. So this is like you can see already. We've got art coming in. Is there a way I can like love this or something? Add reaction. Oh, view more. What reaction can I give it? Mid-Journey reactions, Celestial reactions, Well-Op reactions. God, there's a lot of Well-Op reactions. Geek Tank Motor Pool reactions, which are mostly those people. I can give it a tooth.
I am looking for your channel and I am not finding it.
Even with that link?
The link doesn't go to the app. I'm on a Mac. I'm not on a PC. It doesn't automatically go to my app. It goes to a web page. So let me try this again. Yep. Hold up the web page. Now it's letting me into the app.
There you go.
Hey. Now it's thinking. Oh. Well, Okay. Okay. So I know it's working. So, guy, it's okay.
I should probably figure out, make sure that all of these guys should be, because Art Crumbs then is, oh man, I really dig Cat's icon.
Hmm. Okay, so your link's not allowing me in.
Link's not letting me in.
Correct.
And what is your name?
It's just. Let's see. I can. Here, I'll give it to you right here.
Because then I'll just invite you the heck in.
There.
All right. I will look for you and just invite you. Because I can invite to server. Invite people. No results found. Oh, you and I aren't friends. That's part of the reason. Why are we not
Oh.
friends? How did we end up not being friends?
Ask to be my friend.
Nope, that's that.
Going
That
to
might be
direct
the
messages.
right thing. Here, try this link and see if it does it better. Right click on the server. That's what I think. That's what Brent is saying. Try that one. That probably is a little easier to get to.
There we go. That works.
I just had the wrong boop-de-bop going there.
There it is. It allowed me in that time.
Okay. There. I can wave at you now. I just discovered I can do the Vulcan salute as a like button. I'm doing that. I'm totally doing that from now on. Don't think I won't. That's my like. You can tell I've liked it because it's got the Vulcan salute now. Look at me doing my job. There you go. You got a dragon face, man. There.
Yeah.
Yay!
Why is this open? Okay, so for the 8-page challenge, I had everything the same for. I have everything for that done. Okay.
All right.
All right. So
Now we've got a server running, and actually, even though I'm not very good at this, the server runs pretty well.
okay. You said you wanted a 4-page challenge as well.
I was just saying we should vary it. So, hi, welcome to May. This will be a 4-page challenge for you. You can do 4 pages. Here are the rules. Or, hi, welcome to June. And, this would be a 8-page challenge or a 6-page challenge. I think that should be part of the title of the thing. So that's the restriction that we all work under is X number of pages. I think that's good for I feel like that's always good to give just a little bit of restriction. Otherwise, it's like, okay, I need help with permissions. Totally need help with permissions.
Okay, Guy, you're sidetracking.
I am totally sidetracked. But
Get
it
off
says
of Discord.
it says manage.
Get off of
channel.
Discord.
It says manage channel. You can get Discord. I'm off Discord.
Okay, get back to that. While you're doing that, talk to me about this challenge because you had ideas.
Well, that was my first thought, was that, if we set up a challenge and just did them every so often, everybody can join. Then you put your work in the Discord channel.
Okay.
And that would be fun. We should probably also add a disclaimer that says you own everything, we own nothing, sort of thing. Just so that people don't feel uncomfortable about posting it to the Discord channel.
Okay. All right. And then, so I have, okay, so the only thing I really changed so far between the 8, the 6, the 4, and the 2 is 8, 5 shows minimum for the challenge. 6 is 4, 4-page challenge is 3, and a 2-page challenge is 2.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds like that's straight up pretty awesome.
Yeah. Everything else is the same. Is there anything else that you want to add that they can have in advance?
Not that I can think of. You can write.
What about character design? Do you want to have that in
character
advance?
design, script, anything prior to the actual go button can be, so
Okay.
character design, script, it can be a continuing story. Like every one of these, I intend to kind of just do another Space Cat and Leela because I actually kind of like them. There's no restriction on format. You could also do one where it is pre-written script and everybody has to draw it in their own style. That's not a bad idea. That's Brent's thing.
That will be for another challenge. This one is the one where everyone comes up with it themselves, and then we will go into that one, Brent and Guy.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that I have this solid, because when you do art challenges, like I'm already out the window. Like I've already stopped doing my art challenge because I got sidetracked because Guy basically said, Guy was talking about his thing, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I made this too challenging for a normal human being. Kane is not normal. He is a production workhorse. That is why he got 8.
He is an
8 years
alien.
done.
We all agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that he's a workhorse, so not everyone can work like him. So you're talking providing a script. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what Brent is talking about. Is we generate a script that's 6-page script or a 4-page or a 2-page.
Okay, so what if we did? So what would you want to call that?
No, not 100. I mean, that would just be I don't know. It's a good question. What would we call that?
So script is going to be provided. Script is provided. So everyone's getting the same script?
Yeah, everyone's getting the same script on that one, on that challenge. So
okay.
But how you interpret it is up to you. So
Okay.
I think that the scripts would have certain rules. Hey, Kat. Kat, I discovered I can do the Vulcan salute on Discord, so I Vulcan saluted all of your stuff. It was very awesome.
Right. So script is provided, interpretations up to the challenger. This one would have restrictions. I'm going to say restricted to panel count. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels on one page and someone decides to put 6 things on that page, that's not part of the challenge. They have to have that 5 panel.
That makes sense.
So I'm going to put that in for that. Okay, so this is just the script
I would say a
provided.
minimum of X and a maximum of Y is what Brent is saying.
Yeah. Well, if we give them a true script, Brent, they should have a panel count per page. Is what I'm saying. So if we write 5 panels on that page, they have to do that 5 panels. So there wouldn't be a thing for that. So this is with script provided. Now, would we be is there obviously we'd have to provide these scripts, so like, are we doing these chat GPT style, or are we having to write these?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that should be a restriction. Personally, I would do GPT style.
So for us, we would have chat GPT provide these for the people who want to do them, right?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't know if I would make that the rule in case somebody wants to write or provide. Yeah, I agree with. I mean, that's what Brent's agreeing on that one. I think that way, if you're gonna say Guy's gonna do it, I'm gonna roll it through Chat GPT because it's fun, and that would be at least neutral to all of us. But
yeah,
we might end up with. We have a couple of buddies who are writers, and they're not artists; they're just writers. And we could say, like let's just say Ron would be interested in something like this. He probably wouldn't, but let's just say he would. Then we'd give sort of a rundown of make the characters neutral, so that we can interpret the characters any way we want, and just give us an 8-page scene in any style or anything. And then that might be a fun challenge to add somebody with it,
Okay. And then, so for these ones, since we're giving them the script, and they have to come up, and they won't be able to see the script until they actually start the challenge. So when they start it, they would have to do the character designs for that. Do you want to give them an extra show or two to make sure that they can develop the character that they want?
Like run-up time. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So do you want to do like 6 shows for the 8 and just add 1 show, or do you want to add 2 shows?
I think 2 shows is good.
Okay. So the 8 page will go to 7 shows. 8 pages, 8 shows. Do you want to do that instead? Okay.
I guess so. That sounds pretty okay.
So for this one, it would be a 2-hour window, and They would just get done whatever they can get done. Okay. There we go. 4. Okay, so the 2-page challenge with the script provided would have 4 shows minimum that they would have to work on the challenge for. The 6 shows for the 4-page, 7 shows. Oh no, sorry, 2-page should be 5. So the 6-page would have 7. Or am I basically getting this wrong? I should do 6 and 6, 4 and 4, 2 and 2.
Yeah, I think what we should do is just say that whatever you're doing for prep, like for example, here is the script. We will start this challenge in 2 days. You may prep in any way except, like, maybe just put it in sort of the way that the NaNoWriMo does. You can do anything except laying down the actual words. So you can do anything except actually laying down art. So that's everything.
We are not providing character descriptions for these things.
Right. And intentionally, we don't put character descriptions so that we can interpret any way we want.
Okay. All right.
So Pat, I don't know if you've been here through this whole discussion or not, but what we're talking about is sort of, we all kind of took up Pepper's challenge, and I like Pepper's challenge, but it's probably a little too aggressive. So now we're making something that's a little bit easier, like a page an hour speed sort of challenge.
Okay,
so 8 pages in 8 hours, or in the case of this, it would be 4 shows, right? Because our shows are 2 hours long.
So the first one I think that we talked about, where it's like 5 shows for the 8-page challenge, I'm going to say that's the speed challenge. That's the speed one for that. I'm going to just copy the same thing. And for the normal one, for the normal one, I think and then it would be like 8-page gets 8, and so this is like basically the same challenge as the first one, only like you just basically have 1 show per page type deal. That shows you where my headspace is at.
That sounds good to me.
And then
we'll have to run it by Can too, and I don't think Can's made it out of the blankets yet.
No, but I mean, also at the same time, I could also just post this in our chat.
Yeah.
And go from there. I mean, everything's the same in both challenges, from the speed to the normal. The speed is just basically like, if you want to try to get it good quality and challenge yourself to make it good quality and get it done faster,
right?
That's all that's for. If you get a little bit behind, that's fine. If you know you can try to make it up at another time or place. But you just basically take your time with whatever you need to do.
Right. And I assume that we are all totally in agreement that there will be no shaming of people who don't make it, but encouragement to try to make it.
Like I said, I already broke mine, so like.
I know, and I'm just saying I think that kind of goes without saying, but maybe it should be said, because I love the idea that we are just challenging ourselves, right?
So
I join into this one to try to do a 2-page challenge before the end of the show. Okay. And then I don't. Well, next time I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get there next time. And
so what if we did one where I am a huge character person? What if we provided characters for one?
Okay. I'm not.
And then we don't provide a script. So they would basically be doing the challenge based off of how they view the character.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
There may be a little bit of a difference with this one. Because of that, there's not a working script.
Right.
What type of restriction would you want for this one? If we just provide the character, it's the interpretation is definitely up to the challenger for the story.
Right. Yes.
You want to see
Leg lock.
like what are you?
Want to see something a bit harder? Stuff people don't normally do. Like what? You don't find characters.
Oh, okay. So you don't find. Okay, so.
No. And I mean, obviously,
like, not,
all of these would be voluntary.
Yeah,
Sure.
like. So. The stories are not given with the characters. We just create a character and go, okay, you can do the 8, 6, or 4, 2 page based off of this character.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that one. Add slice of life or day of life, day in their life. Data's Day. There was an awesome episode of Star Trek called Data's Day, which would sound stupid boring, but it actually was a fascinating episode. And I love that episode. And yeah, I mean, what's a day in the life of one of your characters? That's
so
awesome.
you're saying a lot of people can draw characters but don't know the world or okay.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So I'll put in here interpretations up to the challenger for story, but what they have to do is a mini comic about the character. I'll put that in there for you, Kat, for that one.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Since we're not providing a script, so panel count is up to them. What if we said they restricted to... Hold on. Oh, don't worry. I'm not expecting you to. I'm liking the ideas, though.
No, it's fine. And Kat, the idea was that we do these semi-regularly.
Yeah.
And no one's expected to join, but maybe you'd want to take a 2-hour break and do a 2-hour rundown real quick. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe this time it'd be fine. Maybe not. And there's no expectation.
I'm going to say restricted to show a piece of slice of life within the story. Within the story, for sure. For this one, I'm gonna say that they're gonna have to at least know, because you have 2 shows that are 1 a day, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 2 shows.
2 shows. So Sunday and Friday, you only do 1 show each. Sunday night and Friday morning.
Right. Sunday and Friday are effectively 1 day.
Okay, so still 1 show a day minimum. So when we provide the characters, the interpretation for the story would be up to the challenger. Mini comic is a must for this. Like they won't be able to get around that. And restricted to show a piece of slice of life within the story. Okay. Alright. And then, Kat, is there anything else about character? I feel like I'm missing something about character building because when I build a character, I always have the environment in mind when I'm like having and thinking about my characters. So like, I'm just trying to think. I don't want to make this too over the top. So, hey, Ken. So I heard about the backbreaking, intense, aggressive thing that you guys got into about my challenge. So me and Guy are coming up with some a new art challenge that's less aggressive and a little bit better on people. I'm gonna put this in our private chat, and so you'll be able to see it once we get it all done.
I'm starting to get robot-y again.
Are you talking to me?
No, I just noticed that one of the streams was slowing down, which means that I was probably having internet problems.
Okay. Alright, so for Can to catch him up to speed of what we're talking about. So we have a speed challenge, a normal challenge, a script provided challenge, and a character provided challenge. And each challenge has an 8, a 6, a 4, and a 2-page count to go by. This challenge is based off of what you guys already experienced, but it gives you way more time and more shows to complete it. So the speed challenge, the 8-page challenge, you get 5 shows minimum to do the challenge, so 2-hour windows per show. You can have a written character in advance, and you can have your character designs done in advance. It can be part of a long format story. No restrictions on format. You have to do at least 1 show a day. Does not have to be done in 1 show, and it will never be done on Watercolor Wednesday show.
Very important.
That's very important for this challenge.
Rough Watercolor Wednesdays.
Yeah,
That's the break time.
Yeah, I know it was a rough challenge. And that's what Guy was saying. Like, Guy was talking to me about it, and so I got to thinking, and I was in the middle of my own challenge today, and I just was like, you know what? Let's just make this a little bit of a easier, better challenge. So the speed challenge is just to kind of see if you can improve your drawing speed for comics. You have 5 shows minimum to challenge yourself to get an 8-page comic done in 5 2-hour windows. So does that seem unreasonable for you? Because
that sounds, I mean, it's probably, I also,
okay, so that's good.
Yeah, I also feel like, I mean, it's got the same sort of NaNoWriMo rules, right? You can do everything up to actually laying down the words, and the same thing with us. You can do everything up to actually laying down the art. So same as NaNoWriMo rules in that.
Well, yeah, like these right now are the individual like page count rules, and then the overall rules.
I'm just saying the overall rules should be everything short of the art, and that should be blue line or ink.
Yeah. So like everything.
Like you could thumbnail if you wanted. I feel like thumbnailing is probably okay.
Thumbnailing is only okay. The only one that the thumbnailing can't be done right away is the character provided challenge, because that's when someone gets the character, then they have 2 shows before they start their challenge.
Right.
Um, okay. So let me go here. Okay. So cannot have sketched, blue lined, inked, or mostly completed pages done in advance. I'm going to put in here lettering is not required
Yep.
to be completed during the challenge.
I haven't been able to use this crowd thing yet.
All right.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's a crowd.
Yeah. I bought the Zipatone when I was in Japan and have literally never used it till now. For the Kai Talk.
So what were you saying? What am I missing?
Did I say something was missing?
All right. So you were saying can have thumbnails. Thumbnails done.
Well, no, I thought we could do thumbnails. I think that's
So thumbnails.
You can't have blue line, underdrawing, or inks.
So I have sketched. Cannot have sketch blue lines. All right. So you know what? I'm just going to use the term sketch because a lot of people don't know what underdrawing means. So I'll just leave sketched. Can't have thumbnails in advance. Advanced to lay out pages faster. Okay. Okay. I'm going to Alright, so I'm gonna reformat this a little so that I can do this, but easier. So instead of having like, because I was having a lot of like overlap with each of the challenge windows, as far as that goes. So for the speed challenge and the normal challenge, those are going to be the same rules, just different show counts.
Yeah, yeah. That's totally fine. We're just dinking with this idea.
Yeah. Alright, so for the script provided one, that's when we start getting into an area that's a little bit different. So, cannot have a written script in advance. That's one that they want. Um, um,
Are we putting things in private chat? We're not putting things in private chat yet, are we?
I'm not putting anything in private chat yet.
Yeah, can't he means the quack chat.
Oh, where did he put that?
It's okay. It's not worth. It's all good.
Okay, so we'll get a written script by Quack. They won't be able to do thumbnails in advance, so for that, because they're given a script, so they'll just, for this one they'll get an extra day per show. How does that sound?
That's pretty good.
Is then that way they can do prep work, whatever they need to do. To get that done, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he has something to say about it, he doesn't have to do it privately with you.
No, don't worry about it. It's okay.
I am gonna worry about it. He's talking to you privately.
He messaged me because you said you were going to put stuff in private chat. And he said, be sure to copy me here because you were putting stuff in private chat. And I was saying, he's not. He's going to put it in the quack chat. So you'll get it. So it's not a problem.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's really nothing. It's nothing.
Okay. With the script provided one, it's not going to be. It's going to be short format, right?
Right.
Okay. Right, and then restricted on format.
I mean, we're a comic group, so I think the format restriction should just simply be that you have to do a comic.
Well, I think what it is must do panel count in the script.
Right. I mean,
That's the only thing that I want to actually challenge people to do is do the script's panel count. Don't try to create more and don't try to take some out. Do the script count. Do the panel count in the script.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I was gonna do it because these art challenges have to go to Brent to put onto our website, and they're also gonna go into the Duck Pond channel. You said, guy.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it in the responses
Okay.
in our Discord.
Okay. And then, okay.
Problem we've got is that you're really into this, and I'm still working, so I keep.
Oh,
missing.
no, it's fine. I blame you for getting me into it, so it's
Yeah.
okay. Greetings. Hello.
Hello.
Nelson?
We are actually talking about comic challenges, which is open to anybody in the duck pond. So we don't have one yet, but we're working on it.
We're working on 4, but 2 I think is what we're going to release first, which are self-driven, and then we're working on 2 others that we would be helping provide some of the information for. But I think once we get everything situated for the 2 that we provide stuff for, I think we have to basically put it into like a private situation where it's just the main members of Quack, like going through and seeing if there's something that we need to add or subtract and stuff like that, if that's okay. Guy.
Yep, you're talking to me, and I'm answering emails.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, that most of what we've come up with, I'm still pretty good with.
Okay.
But I have a job now that looks like the person wants to meet on Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
And so for the character one, we're giving them 10 shows, right? So, because they have to write a script. 2?
So do you want them to write their own scripts for that one? Yeah, I mean, I guess
For the character provided one, yeah.
yeah, that works. Yep. Okay, we'll see you in a sec.
Okay. So, alright, I'm going to post this where we normally have like a bunch of people comment on everything,
Yes.
and then we'll go through
I
we'll go
understand
through
that.
stuff there.
Messing with network settings. Welcome to the show. I don't know. Abedi?
Huh?
Anyway, welcome to the show. I'll call you L. But yeah, this is an accountability stream. So we run our stream while we do our work, and you can join us and do your work too, and that works. And we're going to be running for another 15 minutes, but we run every morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Time in America, and we also run a second stream at night from 10 p.m. to midnight in the... Oh, Elsa. Perfect. I'll call you Elsa. So, and we also run at night from 10 p.m. to midnight. And what we are doing is, like, I'm working on a comic, a long-run comic called Bellatrix Rising. Pepper below here works on a lot of varying things that are watercolor related and things like that. And so this is an idea I just had today for a game that was played that would be played in my my world called Kaitop. The basket's higher than the people. I'm trying to remind myself that the basket is higher than the people. But the goal is to bounce things off of things. So there's walls above, but they're open below, so they're at the height of a person plus a little bit more. There we go.
Okay, so I sent it to our normal Quasar Art Collective group chat.
Yep. My comic is called Matrix Rising.
Yeah.
I'll show you. And there are 3 issues out so far.
And I will say once we get everything situated with that challenge, we will post it, and we'll have Brent post what we're comfortable to start out with. Because I feel like it's going to turn into something weirder if we do it kind of haphazardly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And who knows, if someone actually wants to do this challenge and they're like, well, what's the point of it? And it's like just to improve. And if they want us to start publishing it and stuff like that, we'll have to talk about it there, but I don't think I want to do that now.
There we go. So my comic is called Bellatrix Rising, and I mix 3D and 2D elements. The machines are all 3D elements that I build, and in fact, I'm working on this spacecraft right now. He lives over here, because the last issue I needed the doors to open, and so I ended up fudging it, and so I was like, I probably ought to build the doors to it so that you can actually, get on the guy here. So that's what we're working on here. Then I got sidetracked by Kaitak, which is, us trying to decide, hey, are there sports in my world? This is just Blender. Just normal, everyday Blender. I don't even have any extra add-ons on here. And then I use a program called Daz Studio to animate it when we get to that stage. So that's pretty straightforward. And what I do is I make the UV maps on here look like they're hand drawn, so that when we show it here, it looks indistinguishable. It doesn't look like a 3D piece. It looks more like a 2D piece. So it matches the characters in the foreground. So that's what I use. That's how I do this. Han, who is here at night, he does a very traditional process, workflow. Oh, thank you. And his traditional workflow is, much more like a standard normal comic, but he's really, really fast. So, and then Pepper is working off and on various comics and does more watercolor work and traditional. This is my hero ship, the Kitty Wake. Also a 3D model. But the 3D model has, of course, I draw. Once it's in here, I draw it and stuff. So.
Guy does fancier spaceships than I do.
I love spaceships, though, and mecha. So, of course, my comic is about spaceships and mecha. Yep. We have lots of experience. That's really all it is. But one of the things is that we all have sort of. So Kat, who is Art Crumbs, Kat does a phenomenal manga that they're working on called God's Bane, and she's insanely good. I mean, like, I'm acceptable. I am operable. But let me show you a little bit of what God's Bane looks like. I gotta spin up Discord again. Yeah, so like this is her manga. I like showing the pages. Did you put pages in here, didn't you? No, you didn't put pages in here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, like so, like you've got the touch though. Oh, thank you. I'm not knocking myself. I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm just saying that yours is really, really good. So this is another one who she's on sometimes at night. Yes, I can. No, maybe. I guess I have to open it in the browser. Hang on. There we go. Right? There we go. Right? You can read this on Manga Plus. I'll actually copy that link over because we just had that. This is it with a media bang, huh? Here, I'll put it into the chat. Oh, got it. That's in case you're not both on the same Twitter or Twitch stream. And you can find mine as well out there. Hang on real quick. I've got too many things going now. This is my comic. No problem. And then I'll show you, I'm going to get Can's comic too. They're all free to read right now on Global Comics. That didn't help me any at all. Oh, I just clicked the wrong thing. Let's see if that. Nope. Can't spell his comic to save my life. And then here is. There we go. Maybe we've been working on these things for a while, a year or two. Originally, I was drawing a comic that was a Star Trek comic, a fan comic, and this is what happened to my fan comic. It became, it evolved, and I can't sell comics of Star Trek, even though I'm a Star Trek fan, as you probably can see. No, you can't see behind me. If you could see behind me, you'd see that I have starships all over the place. I'm a starship person. So, but yeah. And so if you hang out on this stream, you can ask questions. We will tell you how we do everything. We will, I use Clip Studio Paint, and so does Kat. And actually, I know that I use it, Kat uses it, and Can uses it. Pepper, you don't use Clip Studio Paint, do you?
No.
No, yeah. 13 years, yeah. And Kat joins us at night usually. So, yeah. infinity stuff, so I should keep these near me. And I don't. And I really should, because people show up here all the time. And so I've put out 3 issues of Bellatrix Rising so far. You're upside down. Don't be upside down. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I don't mind at all. So I'm gonna put these here so next time I talk about this. So Bellatrix Rising takes place about 500 years in the future, where we are centered around this ship, USS Kittiwake, except she's not. She's really the UMC Kittiwake, which is a little corvette, and the captain is captain is her. She's the captain of the ship, and there's a bunch of aliens on board, and it's kind of interesting. And the plot of the story is they trip across a disaster that has occurred on this planet, where the planet has moved through space, like skipped 3 hours, just skipped it. And when the planet moved, all of the cities got screwed up. It was like having a global earthquake. It was terrible. So they've come to the aid of this planet. It's one of the Federation planets or whatever, so it's a normal place. And they discover that there is a lone survivor in one of these destroyed areas. And the lone survivor is a young 14-year-old girl. And the trick is that when she's mumbling something, what she's mumbling is unaccented, flawless 21st century English. So they picked up a girl, and they're not sure how she's speaking perfect. It's like, finding somebody who speaks Old English, like Shakespearean English, and without an accent, or with a perfect accent. So that's the story that we've got so far. There are 3 issues to this story. And that's what mine is. Can's is a little easier to explain. Armageddon Divinity is pretty much magical girls in dystopia. And it's centered around a set of gritty characters that are kind of cool. So they've got the magical girls, and then some of them are, in varying shades of PTSD and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool in that instance. He's kind of taking the magical girl trope and subverting it, and that's kind of cool too. God's Bane, I don't know if I can elevator pitch God's Bane. I think Kat will have to elevator pitch God's Bane because it's complicated. It's got a lot of mythology, and it's got a lot of different kinds of cultural things going and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. And I put an extreme speed thing in for you. Just look that over. If anything else needs to be done, just put it in mentions or something.
Sure.
There we go.
I was going to say, I know Kat can do an elevator pitch.
Alright, and then with that said, it is 11 o'clock.
It is 11.
Right.
I'll hold for a few more minutes. And we'll, so that you don't have to hold though, Pepper. But I'll hold for a few more minutes and talk to Elsa for just a second longer. And yes, we all did. I went to art school. Yep. I think Can might be the only one who didn't go to art school proper. I'm not sure. Now that we mention it. So, yeah, I think Can's the only one that didn't go to an actual art school of some sort, but we don't necessarily believe you need to. Especially those of us that went to art schools are kind of like.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'll be realistic. Art school nowadays, yeah. So yeah, Kat, because mine's graphic design illustration. So
Yeah, mine was animation, and it was a 4-year degree, and the degree is bunked now, but that's all right. So it isn't needed. All of the things, if you're interested in doing comics, we can teach you the basics here pretty straight up. I'd be okay with that. I mean, it's always good to go. I mean, I don't mean to diss college, because college is good. And I met good people. I made good connections. Now, getting a job is a different story. You're going to end up with varying degrees of opinion on that.
It depends on your luck for job-wise. Getting a job, you just have to apply pretty much anywhere and everywhere that you believe that you should try to get a job at. Now, if you're applying for something specific and you're not getting it, you have to demonstrate that you can do it in the art community, from my understanding.
Right. Kat's talking about things that are true, which is, like, there are specific jobs that you need a degree for. If you're going to be a draftsman or an architecture, there are certain arts where it's required to have a degree. But if you're going to do comics or something like that, where the style is flexible, then it's not required to have a degree.
Yeah, I mean, I've met people who do forensic illustration, which for that, like, they have a degree in illustration, but they specific, like, their portfolios are very specific in drawing bones, anatomy. Basically, what these people do is they draw what happened, how it happened, to, like, bones and intestines for people.
Right.
So, yeah. So animation, you don't need a degree. Yeah. Instagram is not necessarily the most professional portfolio website. Having a specific dedicated portfolio webpage is probably the most professional one you can do. From my understanding. And if you have, like, an art station, that's another one that I think is free to use, right, Kat? Art station? Because I know the other one is Behance, but that one's through Adobe products. Like, there's a plugin for that one.
Yeah.
But, like, Behance is another one where it's a lot more geared towards people who do use Adobe products. So it's if you're not paying for Adobe, it's ArtStation is much better than DeviantArt and Instagram, that's for sure.
Yeah, I now have messages from 2 teachers of my kids. Like, 2 teachers have now messaged me. Oh my goodness.
So I'm not saying that you'll get chosen. What we're saying, I think what we've discussed is essentially is you can apply for jobs. I think through both Behance and ArtStation.
Yeah, both of them do have jobs.
Yeah, you just have to apply for something that you want to go for, and then you just have to have examples of your work on those 2 websites to just be able to post. Yeah, Kat explains it much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to just present it very, very well in the best manner possible so that you can get hired.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they're looking for. And one of the things that I'll tell you now that it helps a whole lot is speed and volume.
Yeah.
So they're going to look to see how fast you do things, and they want to know how much you've done and stick to itness. One of the things that has killed me over the years is staying with a project, which is one of the reasons why we do this right now. I have ADD, which is, many people know what that is, but one of the things that ADDers do is what we call body doubling, where we both sit down and do work. And because we're both working, I don't feel compelled to wander and get off track. So like that's kind of a thing. So that's why we do this accountability stream every day, is so that we all can get our work done. But because of things like this accountability stream, I've got mini comics under my belt now, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So I call this accountability stream a win. And I'm the stay-at-home dad. So that's a thing.
Yeah, Kat makes a very good point. Yeah, art jobs are a lot of strategy. Concept art challenges are a really good way to actually beef up your work. I have a few friends who are concept artists who are like for studios and stuff, and they do consistent like challenge art challenges for concepts. Yeah, the people I'm talking about have been doing it for years, so they don't have problems getting jobs very much. But yeah, it is oversaturated. Yeah. Yep.
I'm writing back to my kids' teachers. Oh my god.
So I'm gonna say and go out on a limb. We won't be able. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
concept
totally
art.
right. That's one of the reasons why we were talking about. Oh, that should be a challenge we do, is character design challenges.
Yeah.
That's Kat's absolutely right. The more critical a function to a story, the more likely that everybody wants to do it, for one, and two, the more likely it's not accessible to everybody.
The other reason why a lot of people want to do the concept art, Elsa, is everyone wants their ideas in the front and they want to bring their characters to life. That is for sure.
Yeah.
One person I know that does concept art, they like doing it because they'll get a story and they want to make sure that the story is like represented like the way that they saw the concept of the story, and that's what drives them. They do the character, but they also like based off of how they see their characters on how they go to the people who are under them to do the concept art for like all of the world building. And so they'll take the character and do like a rough world thing, with it, and then they'll take that image, give it to the people under them, and then they have to build everything else around that with that vision. And then they basically said that they usually are going up against one or two other people per project. So, these, you're talking about 3 groups of people working on one project, just on concepts alone for that studio, and then whoever wins basically gets to finish the animation that they're working on, and then the other 2 groups basically help them out with that. That's on how it was explained with that animation house in studio.
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing is, everybody wants to be the person who, like everybody wants to be George R.R. Martin, where they come to you and they say, "We love your story. We're going to put a couple of $1 million into bringing your story to life." Everybody wants that, but there's so many stories, nobody's going for that. So the odds of that happening are pretty slim. Not impossible, just slim. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's difficult to get into that stage, but that's not impossible at all. I think the biggest thing that what I've learned to do is I write my own stories and put them out there. And if people like them, then I'm happy. If I've got like 4 people who like my stories, I'm totally content. And then if something happens, yay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good with that. But I'm not gonna... I feel like that's sort of... Everybody wants to do that, and it's impossible for everybody to do it just by the nature of the beast, There's so many people.
Yeah, that's why I basically said what I said about the person I was doing. It's their vision for a story. Hell of a Boss is a really good show. That's pretty much that's what I was trying to say. I probably didn't do a very good job, Kat.
Personally, myself, I'm of the opinion that, it's one of those things. If you write your own comics and put them on Global Comics, then, or something similar to Global Comics, you have control over the story, you have control over the characters, and you'll still get the same amount of love. Even if it's 5 or 6 people, those people will still intensely love your story. And that still works. If you could make the next Battlestar Galactica, the next Star Trek, the next whatever, that would be incredible. But I also feel like you end up with probably the same amount of people who really intensely love it, and then a whole bunch of people who are telling you you're doing it wrong. We'll probably still end up with people who are telling us to do it wrong, who are doing it wrong. But
but Hell of a Boss is actually made by an extremely small studio. Their episodes are lengthy and far apart due to funding. They have a consistent thing where they have to get funding. They have merchandise that they sell in order to help get that. They do a lot of merch. They do a lot of merch drives. They do a lot of interviews with the voice actors. They do a lot of things to promote so that people come watch the series. And they have more than just one cartoon animation. They have several that they work on. It's smaller studios usually have 1 to 3 projects going for animation. From my experience talking to my friends that I went to school with, larger ones have full-blown movies, stuff like that. Not necessarily. It just depends on how you do the funding for it. It really does, Elsa. If it's something that you want to try to pursue, it's
What you do is you surround yourself with people who want to do it too.
Yeah, and also Kat makes a very good point. A lot of their animations, a lot of their animators are contract. They are not full-time employees. So yeah, Disney for a very long time would actually fire after a movie. They would fire all their animators by basically not renewing the contracts, and then come up with another animated movie and rehire them back with new contracts.
Yeah.
So Disney operated that like that for years, and many people still do in the animation industry. So I'm not saying it's the nicest way to work, but it can be a little nerve-wracking for some of my friends.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. You also the other thing that one of my friends
somewhere
has
along the line, this coming from Miyazaki.
Yeah, one of my friends said that they have to basically they didn't know how to work within contracts for a very long time until they had to start dealing with contracts like once a year.
I feel kind of like we're crushing Elsa's dreams here.
No,
like,
there's good sides to it though. There's good sides to it.
I know. I'm like, oh, I feel like we're crushing your dreams.
No, there's good sides. This is just this is what, like, don't go in with like expectations that you're gonna be, just it is tough. And Kat's right. It is a very fulfilling experience. For most of the people that I know that do it, they absolutely, wholeheartedly love it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why they continue to go through it and everything. Yeah. Yeah, and Kat's right. It's better than to be prepared to know that this is the possibility that you're walking into.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is. I don't think I ever wanted to become an animator. I did study a little bit of animation in college. That's on how I have some of the friends I have. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
good. If you're unbreakable, continue to being that because
really,
that is awesome.
The truth is, I don't know if I'd be anything but this. You know what I mean? I think I've got my muse would never let me go. So it doesn't really matter. So
I'm right there with Kat. Like I enjoy the pre-production storyboarding. I really do. Yeah. So it's a good attitude to have that.
And you keep hanging with us and
we need to finish up the show for today because we're almost a half an hour over.
We are almost, and I've got to go get lunch. I am hungry. So,
well,
Elsa, I am so glad you joined us today. I hope you follow. I don't know whether you came in on Kayan's side or my side, but either way, whichever way, like I said, we broadcast twice a day. So I'll be back on again at 10 o'clock tonight in Mountain Time. So wherever you are in the world, U.S. Mountain Time. And then I'll be on again tonight at 10. And we'll be on again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And then we break for the weekend, but then we'll come back Sunday night. So, and we definitely have to say, may the 4th be with you, because it's definitely, right?
Sure.
L is better. We can go with that. Sweet. L. That works. So, oh my goodness. Goodness.
Bye, Kat. Bye, everyone who's still in the chat that we haven't said goodbye to yet. Brent.
Yep. Also, make sure you find our Discord. Did you find our Discord? Do you know where to get to the Discord? Because I posted that in the private chat. Here, let me give you the Discord invite in case you do Discord. I don't know if you do, but we have a Discord channel. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
do this every day, twice a day. We were just talking about doing challenges.
With the exception of Friday and Sunday. Those are both. Friday is just a morning show, and Sunday is a night show.
Yep. But that's the Duck Pond on Discord there. So you can join us on the Discord,
Right.
where we are here sometimes and sometimes not, because I'm old and I'm getting really confused sometimes by the social media things. So they still kind of confuse me, but that's all right. It's all right. Okay, guys, we are OOH. I will see you all later. And as always, thank you for joining us, and keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.